After a lightning strike, electrical safety is paramount. The following checklist will guide you through the necessary steps to assess the safety of your home's electrical system. Firstly, prioritize safety precautions by turning off the main electrical breaker. Do not enter the home until it has been inspected by a qualified electrician. Immediately call the utility company to report the strike and request an inspection. Secondly, conduct a thorough visual inspection. Check for any visible damage to electrical wires, outlets, switches, and appliances. Inspect the exterior of the home for any holes, cracks, or broken windows. Look for signs of smoke or burning. Thirdly, perform a circuit check. Once the electrical service has been turned off, test each circuit breaker or fuse. If any breakers or fuses are tripped, do not reset them at this time. Fourthly, inspect the grounding system, including the main grounding rod, ground wires, and any other grounding components. Ensure that the grounding system is intact and properly connected. Fifthly, focus on concealed wiring. Contact a qualified electrician to perform a thorough inspection of concealed wiring using advanced tools such as thermal imaging cameras, ground fault circuit interrupters, and insulation-resistant testers. Concealed wiring may have sustained damage even if there are no visible signs. Sixthly, address appliances and electronics. Disconnect all major appliances and electronics from power sources. Replace or have damaged appliances and electronics inspected by a qualified technician. Seventhly, specifically inspect the water heater. If the water heater was struck, have a qualified electrician and plumber inspect and repair it. Ensure that the water heater is properly grounded. Eighthly, address satellite and television equipment. Replace damaged satellite and television equipment. Check for any damage to wiring or connections. Ninthly, initiate an insurance claim. File a claim with the insurance company to cover the cost of repairs and replacements. Provide documentation of the lightning strike and the resulting damage. It is essential to follow these procedures carefully to ensure the safety of your home and its occupants. Do not attempt to repair electrical damage yourself, as this can be extremely dangerous. Contact a qualified electrician immediately if you suspect any electrical problems after a lightning strike. A more detailed look at each step follows. When dealing with electrical systems after a lightning strike, safety must always come first. Begin by turning off the main electrical breaker. This single action minimizes the risk of electric shock and further damage during your initial assessment. Do not re-enter the home until a qualified electrician has given the all clear. Lightning strikes can compromise the structural integrity of your electrical system in ways that aren't immediately apparent. Contacting the utility company is also crucial. They can inspect the service connection and ensure that the grid is not feeding any dangerous voltage into your home. Their inspection is typically free and provides an added layer of safety. The visual inspection should be methodical. Start by looking for obvious signs of damage such as melted wires, scotched outlets, or cracked switch plates. Pay close attention to the smell. A lingering odor of burnt plastic or ozone can indicate hidden problems. Check the exterior of the home for entry points of the lightning. Holes in the siding, cracks in the foundation, or shattered windows are all potential clues. If you spot any signs of smoke or burning, evacuate the premises immediately and call the fire department. Circuit breakers are designed to trip in the event of an overcurrent or short circuit. However, lightning strikes can sometimes cause subtle damage that doesn't immediately trigger a breaker. Once the main electrical service is off, manually test each breaker to confirm that it is functioning correctly. If any breakers are tripped, leave them in the off position. Do not attempt to reset them until a qualified electrician has identified and resolved the underlying issue. Grounding is a critical safety feature that diverts stray electrical current safely into the earth. After a lightning strike, the grounding system may be damaged or compromised. Locate the main grounding rod, which is typically a copper or steel rod driven into the ground near the electrical service entrance. Inspect the connection between the grounding rod and the ground wire, ensuring that it is secure and free from corrosion. Also, check any other grounding components, such as ground wires connected to metallic water pipes or gas lines. Concealed wiring poses a significant challenge because damage may not be visible to the naked eye. Contact a qualified electrician who has the expertise and equipment to thoroughly inspect concealed wiring. Thermal imaging cameras can detect hot spots caused by damaged insulation or loose connections. Ground fault circuit interrupters are highly sensitive devices that can detect even small imbalances in current, indicating a potential ground fault. Insulation resistance testers, also known as megameters, can measure the resistance of the insulation surrounding the wires. A low resistance reading indicates damaged insulation and a high risk of electrical shock. All major appliances and electronics should be disconnected from their power sources as a precautionary measure. Lightning strikes can induce voltage surges that can damage sensitive electronic components, even if the appliance was not directly hit. Have damaged appliances and electronics inspected by a qualified technician. They can assess the extent of the damage and determine whether repair or replacement is the best course of action. Water heaters are particularly vulnerable to lightning strikes due to their direct connection to both the electrical and plumbing systems. If the water heater was struck, have both a qualified electrician and a licensed plumber inspect it. The electrician will check the electrical connections, heating elements, and thermostat, while the plumber will inspect the tank, pipes, and pressure relief valve. Ensure that the water heater is properly grounded to prevent future electrical hazards. Satellite and television equipment is also susceptible to damage from lightning strikes due to their connection to external antennas and cables. Replace any damaged satellite and television equipment. Check for any damage to wiring or connections, including coaxial cables and connectors. Consider installing surge protectors on all coaxial cable connections to protect your equipment from future surges. Filing an insurance claim is an important step in recovering the costs associated with lightning strike damage. Contact the insurance company as soon as possible and provide them with detailed information about the incident, including the date and time of the strike, the extent of the damage, and any safety precautions you have taken. Document the damage with photographs and videos. Obtain written estimates from qualified electricians, plumbers, and other contractors for the cost of repairs and replacements. Keep all receipts and invoices related to the lightning strike, as they will be needed to support your insurance claim. Remember, attempting to repair electrical damage yourself can be extremely dangerous. Electricity can be lethal, and even minor shocks can cause serious injury. Always contact a qualified electrician immediately if you suspect any electrical problems after a lightning strike. By following this checklist carefully and taking the necessary precautions, you can help ensure the safety of your home and its occupants after a lightning strike. Additional considerations include surge protection. Surge protectors are devices designed to protect electronic equipment from voltage spikes. While they cannot prevent a direct lightning strike, they can help to mitigate the damage caused by induced surges. Consider installing surge protectors on all electrical outlets, as well as on telephone, cable, and data lines. Consider installing a whole house surge protector at the main electrical panel. This device provides an additional layer of protection for all of the electrical circuits in your home. An electrical inspection after a lightning strike should be comprehensive, including a visual inspection of all accessible wiring, outlets, switches, and appliances, testing of all circuit breakers and fuses, inspection of the grounding system, including the main grounding rod and ground wires, insulation resistance testing of all wiring circuits, ground fault circuit interrupter testing of all outlets and circuits, and thermal imaging of all wiring and electrical panels. If any damage is found, it should be repaired or replaced immediately by a qualified electrician. During the electrical inspection, the electrician will assess the condition of all wiring, including the type, size, and insulation. They will also check for any signs of damage, such as cracks, cuts, or abrasions. If any damaged wiring is found, it should be replaced with new wiring of the same type and size. Outlets and switches should be inspected for damage, such as cracks, burns, or loose connections. Any damaged outlets or switches should be replaced with new ones of the same type and rating. The electrician will also test each outlet and switch to ensure that it is functioning properly. Circuit breakers and fuses should be tested to ensure that they are tripping properly. If a circuit breaker or fuse fails to trip when overloaded, it can create a fire hazard. Any faulty circuit breakers or fuses should be replaced with new ones of the same type and rating. The grounding system is a critical safety feature that protects against electrical shock. The electrician will inspect the grounding system to ensure that it is properly installed and functioning correctly. They will check the grounding rod, ground wires, and all connections to ensure that they are tight and corrosion-free. Insulation resistance testing is a method of measuring the resistance of the insulation surrounding electrical wires. This test can detect hidden damage to the insulation that may not be visible to the naked eye. Lower insulation resistance can indicate a risk of electrical shock or fire. Ground fault circuit interrupter testing is a method of testing ground fault circuit interrupters to ensure that they are functioning properly. Ground fault circuit interrupters are designed to protect against electrical shock by quickly shutting off power to a circuit if a ground fault is detected. Thermal imaging is a method of using a thermal imaging camera to detect hotspots in electrical wiring and equipment. Hotspots can indicate loose connections, overloaded circuits, or other problems that could lead to a fire. The information gathered during an electrical inspection can be used to create a detailed report that outlines any problems that were found and recommends corrective actions. This report can be used to support an insurance claim or to obtain financing for repairs. Remember that this information is for educational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional electrical advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician for any electrical work or repairs.